What kind of capabilities deserve attention in the RE era? Why overtime shouldn't be encouraged? Why hide RE skills? Some time ago, we had the honor of having Kwaidao Chingy as a guest on the Evolver segment. After more than an hour of conversation, the conversation was packed with valuable insight. A video to share my gains with you. Once you clearly state your goals, it becomes your most important ability. Many bosses love to say employees lack insight, but in fact, many times it's not that employees don't understand. It's because you didn't explain it clearly. For example, buying coffee. You might say Americano has less ice and no sugar. This is called clarity. But you can't just say, give me a cup of coffee with a feeling. What does it mean to have feelings? Stronger than usual. Sweeter a bit. Do you need ice? You don't explain clearly. The other side could only guess. Wrong guess. If you blame him for being misunderstood, in fact, it's unfair. You might wonder, many companies, it seems that's how it works. The boss gave a rough idea. Employees figure it out themselves. In the end, things can be accomplished, but that's because people tend to imagine things. Experienced staff received a vague mission. It will be based on business experience. Boss preferences. Fill in the gaps you haven't made clear. If you make a mistake, start over. Just guessing. Rely on the mold. Rely on time. He always managed to achieve a similar result. But in the RE era, the harm of not being able to figure out the goal quickly gets magnified. Because RE won't guess your thoughts like a person does. You give him a vague instruction. He won't ask you exactly what you want. Only earnest, quickly executing a questionable matter. For example, you said you could help me make a viral video. He can immediately give you titles, scripts, and storyboards. It actually looks quite convincing. But once implemented, it would be a complete mess. Why? Because of which platform you post. Who is the target audience? None of this was clearly explained. Making a viral video isn't the goal. This is making a vow. 2. Over time, it may become less and less worthy of reward. I never checked in. Kwaidao said, recently, I've been thinking about setting up a check-in system, but he called it a reverse check-in. What does that mean? Prevent overtime. He said, if an employee is still buried in work every night at 11 p.m., this is not necessarily commendable. Working so late. It's very likely that RE is being used poorly. In the past, I used to work late into the night alone. The boss will think this person is really hardworking, truly responsible. Gradually, it became a tacit understanding. Who would want to endure longer? Whoever is a good employee is the one. But when RE arrived, this standard is delicate. Because many jobs in the past relied on human effort to endure. Now you can even run it for RE first. He was told to look up the information first, write the first draft and let him write first, fix code and find bugs for proofreading. No one needs to grind her down even a little. So one person still has to work overtime to finish the work. The boss actually asks one question. He is truly responsible. Or maybe I didn't make my goal clear. It hits the mark. Or maybe he encountered some difficulties using RE. The RE era cannot be simpler. Equate waiting time with value. In the past, good employees were obedient and executed. In the future, good employees will be judged and reconstructed. The judgment is clear. What is worth doing? What isn't worth doing? Restructuring means no longer following the old rules. Instead, he asked in return, could the process be simpler? Can RE solve the problem? Overtime is not worth encouragement. Those who should be rewarded are those who improve efficiency through methods. 3. Can RE be used effectively? First, look at curiosity. All right, I understand the reasoning. RE is indeed powerful. But how can we ensure that all employees make good use of RE? Many people's first reaction is training, but training can solve it. How to use it doesn't solve the problem of whether you want to use it. So Kwaidao said, can a person make good use of RE? The first priority is curiosity. Curious people are sensitive to inefficient natural habits. He felt uncomfortable seeing the repetitive movements. Why does everyone have to fill out this form by hand every week? This process has been done dozens of times. Why hasn't it been automated yet? So management in the RE era. The point is not to train everyone to use RE. Instead, it is about identifying those who are truly curious, because curiosity is hard to cultivate. You can teach someone how to use the tool, how to write prompts, but it's hard to teach him. When you see a repetitive process, that thought popped into his mind. This is whether a different method can be used. Once recognized, it must be fully released. Give him space. Let him try. Go and change it. Stop making a mess. Such curiosity. Only then can we truly grow productive. 4. Don't let RE become a source of pressure for employees. Compared to employees' curiosity, many companies are also facing a similar situation. More realistic questions. That is, some employees, it's not that I can't use RE, but he didn't want the company to know he will use RE. Why? The reason is simple. Suppose you use RE. Reduce the original 8-hour work. It was done in just 1 hour. Would you tell the boss right away? Not necessarily. You will first do the math in your mind. If the boss finds out, it's a reward for me, or let me do some extra work. In most companies, The capable work harder is the norm. So what employees really fear is efficiency has improved, the benefits of savings, but it does not belong to oneself. So what should I do? Quaidao said, the biggest obstacle to RE implementation. Often, it's not that employees don't know how to use it, it's that the company hasn't made things clear. After efficiency improvement, who benefits? Efficiency has improved. The company cannot just applaud from the sideline. You have to offer some tangible benefits. It could be a bit more income. It could also mean working a bit less. Otherwise, what right would they have? Show your own methods. Therefore, RE is being promoted to be implemented. It was never just about shouting, relying on inspection. Everyone was urged to use it. Instead, it is about letting employees know both the company and themselves can benefit from this. 5. Real projects more valuable than work experience. The first 4 points. RE is viewed more from the perspective of company management. That is, for the individual. Any inspiration? A quick knife recruitment assessment. It gave me something to think about. The age of RE. Don't just prove you have experience. You have to prove you've done it. How to understand it. Imagine such a scenario. You need to hire an hour. There are 2 candidates. One has been in the field for 8 years, very experienced. The other only worked for 5 months, but he built an hour agent himself, able to do payroll statistics, able to design incentive plans. Who would you choose? Quaidao said he prefers to choose a 5-month month. Why? Because RE is rapidly erasing the advantages of experience. Candidate information. RE can organize first. Performance plan. RE can first provide the framework, and so on and so forth. So the company is even more interested in seeing it. It's not just about how long you've been working. It's about what you've accomplished. The same standard applies to quick recruitment of interns. A college student wants to prove they know how to use RE. It's not like I've used RE for years. How many tools are familiar with them? Instead, it asks whether I use RE. I once completed a real project. For example, helping teachers. I created an information statistics tool. I helped my classmate build a lesson inquiry robot or register for a club. Grouping process automation. Even if it only lasted a few months, as long as the problem has truly been solved. Just 1 sentence. Prolonged use of RE tools. It's even more convincing. That's all for 5 o'clock. Let's give a simple summary. First, the goal must be clearly stated. 2. Overtime is not worth rewarding. 3rd, make good use of RE. First look at curiosity. 4. Don't let RE become a source of pressure. The 5th value lies in the project, not the skill. Finally, thanks again to Brother GAO for sharing. I also hope this can be of some help to you. After all, this is what this era needs. Not the more obedient ones, but more skilled at asking questions and better at judgment, and also those who can get things done. The age of RE. A person's value will not disappear. It will only change in one way. Being re-examined. May you always be that one. The one who is seen. Follow Liu Run, lowering the cognitive barrier for business.